So let's look at attaching the device to the putter grip. There are three components. There is the clamp that attaches to the shaft. You have the device clamp on the far side, and in the center you have a ball joint for aligning the clamp with the putter. If you look at the clamp that attaches to the shaft, it's at the top of the grip so you can see it. But as you can see, the yellow line is perfectly parallel with the face of the putter head, and it's directly above the face itself. Having done that, you can tighten up all the components, the clamp on the shaft, the ball joint and others, and you'll see that the putter head is directly in the center of the crosshairs of the phone. And if you rotate the phone from left to right, the device and the putter head are exactly in sync. Okay, let's talk about putting. Before we do, just note that there's a quick start help, and it really has quick start. It has frequently asked questions. It's very comprehensive. Bear that in mind. Now hit continue and we come into the main putting screen. Looking at this, the first thing I do is I tend to move the putter back and forth just to establish a very nice LiDAR screen. I tap the screen for the ball to appear and I give it a putt. And in fact, I've set the option that the ball will return once it stops, and there it is. It's once again, give it another putt. Now let's get ourselves a cup. I'm going to hit end and I'm going to tap the screen. So now that blue marker is the cup. I have something to aim for. I'm going to adjust the putter. I'm aiming straight at the cup, or 2 inches, 1 inch to the left. Give it a putt. That's an example of using the virtual ball. Let's aim to the right, 5 or 6 inches to the right. The ball misses the cup. And if you look on the bottom of the screen, we aimed when we made contact with the ball. It was 8 inches to the right, and it ended up at 3 inches. Now we aim to the left. You can see those results. Let's do a real ball. So, same thing. Do you notice that I'm centering the head of the putter, and you can see the little centering gauge? I can also aim left or right of the cup, and you can note right now it's 3 inches to the right, and by hitting it, we actually putted, by then it was 5 inches to the right, and the result is the ball ended up 7 inches to the right of the cup. Let's do that again. We'll hit scan just to tag the main ball, and same thing, line up. In this case, we're aiming right at the cup, I think 1 inch left, and the ball caught the lip and went into the hole. That's a very, very short assessment of the putting abilities of this app. Okay, let's talk about reporting. So in the previous section, you saw how we address a ball, we aim, and we putt. And of course, these putts are recorded. So we can present this in many ways, as a list, as a summary, and as a distance report. So let's take a look at the list. This will store up to 2,000 putts. It doesn't need Wi-Fi or anything like that. And you can erase them. You can erase a row if you wanted to by just a regular side swipe. Of course, it shows for each putt the distance, the face position, the aim, the tempo, and the result. Now, you could switch across to a summary, and in the summary, it'll tell you what percentage of your putts were in the cup, which percentage was short, left or right. And you can select for different time periods in the last 30 days, the last 7 days, today if you want. It's really comprehensive. Now, you could also look at distances. So you could select a filter that says, for all the putts that were in the cup, what distances were there? What was the percentage of sinking putts from 1 to 3 foot and 4 to 6 foot, as an example? But also, just looking at the list, you may want more detail on a particular putt, and by right swiping, it will give you the option to look at more detail. And by hitting that orange menu option, give you a very nice report of the setup of the putt, where it hit, where you aimed, what the stroke metrics are, and the actual outcome of the putt itself. This is just a small fraction of the reporting capabilities. Okay, let's talk about putting tools and stroke metrics. So in the first, select the options menu, And at the bottom, you will see choices of an arc tool, a guide tool, test tools. These are really innovative. And by enabling that, you can actually look immediately at a very detailed help on how the actual stroke metrics works, gives you the norms and other interesting information. So let's select the arc tool. You'll notice on the bottom, we have varying degrees. We can place a cup on the surface and we can place a ball. But by placing the ball, you can see the arc tool being presented. And in fact, that angle can change just depending on your selection. So we're going right up to 24 degrees or down to 6 degrees, but a typical setting is around 12 degrees. So just by putting it and staying within the barriers, you can practice your stroke depending on the angle that best suits your stroke. So here's just an example of that. And of course, it does record many aspects to your stroke as well as your results in this mode. Let's switch away from the arc tool and just go to no tool. And this will just give you an idea of how you're putting without any guidance from the application. So this is like a self-test. And of course, this cup could be 7 foot away beyond the view of the actual screen, and you get that information. So we've just enabled the stroke metrics, the little switch on the left-hand side, and it's showing us specifically for each putt, it updates the speed, the tempo, the length of the backswing, and the result. So again, here's another result. And of course, you can see the updates. In this case, it was a particularly good putt in terms of speed, tempo, and length of backswing. So that was a particularly good swing. Of course, some others might not be quite as good. And it's compared to norms, and you can look at those norms in the documentation and the quick start. This is a particularly outstanding feature of the application. Lastly, you can go back to the putt log. You can do your normal right swipe for detail, and there is the putt that we just made with its stroke metrics and all the other associated information. Thank you for watching. This is just a brief overview of our application. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.